Thank you for the introduction, Pat. I was going to get up here and talk about what a hard worker I was, and then I heard about Pam Reed running 100-mile races. I'm a lazy schlub, okay? That's the bottom line. No, it's really, first I really want to thank the Pima County Hall of Fame. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here with friends and family. And we're not a competitive family, but my speech is going to be a lot better than Paula's. So trust me. So I did actually prepare something. But I need my glasses. So I can't think of a greater honor to be inducted today. I grew up and was greatly influenced by many of the current members and the people that are actually being inducted today. I'll tell a few stories. I'm proud to be mentioned alongside these great athletes and teachers and coaches. And I feel very fortunate, humbled, and blessed to be here today. I'm going to mention team sports because they're beautiful. Basketball is one of the best in this regards, and I was fortunate to play. As you saw in the highlights, I played many sports, but basketball was my love, my true passion. And the thing that's really important to know is that it is all about the team. That individual accolades are not possible without great teammates, great coaches. That's what makes the difference. And I was very fortunate to have been part of winning programs, teams, that was due in large part to my teammates. So thank you all of those teammates at Santa Rita, Grand Canyon, and beyond. I've got some special thanks. So Pat Darcy, Kathy Crucker, and the committee, please thank you for all your hard work, and I really appreciate that. I want to thank Coach Bill Bland for my nomination, and I ran on Coach's Santa Rita track team for 3 years when I was in high school. We were state champions in 1979, so thank you, Coach Bland. Also want to thank Ron Great, who graciously stood in for Paul and I at the press conference earlier this year. He's a great teammate, a great friend, and thank you, Ron. And then there's a few coaches I wanted, and actually a few of them are here today. So I want to thank Bill Thweet. He's not here. He was a great mentor in my life. I want to thank Jim Ferguson, Jr. Jim is here. I'm going to tell a little story that Jim wrote me a note after my junior year in high school. It's probably one of the most important notes that kind of triggered some very important goals for me. So the note went like this. It said, Dear Wire, that was my nickname. It said, Dear Wire. He said, I had a dream last night. The dream was first team All-City, first team All-State, state champions, leading scorer in state. And he said, oh, wait a second. Maybe that was a rerun of my high school career. But then he said, he goes, that's your year, next year, I see it. And it was the first time someone had put it in that context, and I was like, yeah, maybe I could do that. So I took many of Coach Ferguson's, his wisdom throughout the world. In my basketball career, I passed on his wisdom and the things that he taught me those last few years of my high school career. So I really want to say thanks to Jim. Appreciate it, Jim. Kenny Kurtz. So Kenny Kurtz was inducted. Congratulations, Kenny. A lot of people don't know what a great athlete Coach Kurtz was. Amazing athlete. He did a lot of other things, but Coach Kurtz he was also my first basketball coach in high school. So I played for Kenny my freshman year, And that team that was together with Kenny is like 75. You know, that was the nucleus of the team that would go on and make it all the way to the state championship when I was a senior. So, Coach Kurtz, and by the way, during his officiating career, I probably played in a dozen games that Coach officiated. And I won't say that I shot a lot more free throws in those games, but I think I did. So, thank you, Coach. There's some players I wanted to mention too, who had a great influence on my career. So, Steve Altman, Jeff Altman, David Feidel, Andy Brown, Mike Boatwright, Scott McIver, Charlie McCormick, David Vann, Fat Lever, Hoagie Simmons, and then I wanted to mention another guy who's actually here. I ran into him tonight. So, Delano Price. So Delano is very important because when I was probably junior high, high school, I wanted to play against the best players. I wanted to find the best players in town and play against those guys. And there was a place, Bear Down Gym, and they would run games during the day. You had to sneak into the gym somehow if you weren't actually a college student. So thanks to all those students who let me in also. But we would play with the men. We would play with the college players, grown men. We were punk, scrawny high school kids trying to make a name for ourselves. And actually, things would get heated. I was a very competitive person, ready to fight at the drop of a hat. But these guys were big guys, football players from University of Arizona. So Hoagie and Delano sort of took me under their wings and protected us, saved me from getting my ass kicked many a time. And so I definitely want to thank Delano. He was here, but Delano, so thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Now that I want to get to my family. Now you'll notice I don't need props to do my part like my sister did. It's unnecessary, right? No, Paula, that was great. If it weren't for my family, I wouldn't be here today. And of course, it's a very unique, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be inducted with my sister Paula. I'm not going to name names, but somebody out there, Tad, told me that they used to get their ass kicked by Paula when they were in high school, all the time, because she was that tough. You know who you are. Paula typically made it all about everybody else, but Paula was an extraordinary athlete, amazing athlete, very good in multiple sports, and so while I didn't appreciate some of those pictures. I did want to make it clear, what an amazing athlete she was, and to be named, best basketball player in the, in the history of Arizona high school. That's something. Still, the MVP family argument, there's no argument. But I do know how it feels to be Seth Curry or Reggie Miller, just in case. Yeah. But I wanted to continue on my family. Of course, my mom and dad, I want to thank them for all their love and support, and packing three lunches a day and getting to all our games around the state, the country, even the world in some cases. And in athletics, my mom's gift to me was self-belief and confidence. When I stepped on the floor, even though it wasn't often true, but I thought I was the best player on the floor. I thought I was always destined to win. My team was going to win. And that confidence came from my mom. So thanks, Mom. And from my dad, one of the Duncans was mentioning the work ethic. I think Pam Reed kind of mentioned that too, maybe. But But work ethic, you know, that's what I got from my dad, strapping them on every morning, every day, making yourself better, improving, growing, never giving up. The work ethic is what I learned from my dad, so thanks, Dad. Now I want to just quickly to wrap up, I want to talk about life serendipity. That's what sports is all about. So Paula and I in high school, we played for the same coach. Now this is very unusual. If you think back to 1984, or you know, it was actually 1980, sorry. It was actually 1980. The men's coach, who just took his team to state finals, who had a future NBA player on his team. He had a great program going. He quit the boys' job to take the girls' job. In 1980, basketball started in Tucson District 1 at Santa Rita in 1979, the year before. Think about that. That man was Dave Lynch. Tucson legend. I played for Dave for 3 years on the varsity. Paula played for Dave for 4 years. So that to me is one of, you know, that's a great story. Coach is no longer with us. I want to put his name in for the Hall of Fame in the future. Definitely should be a member. Coach Lynch was my oldest daughter's godfather. We were like family. We, you know, we had a lifelong relationship. That's what sports, basketball, that's what it's all about. So I did want to mention Coach, and Coach's best friend is here, Eddie Southard. He's a legend. He came all the way from East Coast. I don't know where Eddie is, but Eddie, love you. It's Coach's best friend. And in honor of Coach, I just wanted to share, he was a guy who always had, he always had sayings. And he liked to use John Wooden, and that was his favorite. So I just got a couple of those sayings before I to close out. So on success, success comes from a peace of mind knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming. It's pretty simple, but it means if you can look in the mirror and know you gave your best, know you did your best, whether you were first or last, it really doesn't matter. It matters that you gave your best and you reached your potential. The other thing, and that was John Wooden. This is Coach's own saying. Success is man-given. Be humble. Talent is God-given. Be thankful. And conceit is self-given. Be careful. Now, that's Dave Lynch. And the last one of Coach's, it's another one on success. Success is relative. The more success you have, the more relatives you have. Coach had a good sense of humor, too. Just in closing, I just want to say thank you so much. I know I forgot some stuff, but I'm truly honored to now be a member of Pima County Hall of Fame. Last thing, I just want to thank my family, my wife, Jasmine, my son, Elijah, my daughter, Natalie, my daughter, Sarafina. Love you.